Bite-Size Thursday here in the Slate Media Studios. We are watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, episode 16, season 3.
Book 3.
Does it matter?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're books. They're not seasons.
They're seasons of TV.
They're books of TV.
Sweetie, you better get used to him doing it. He's got to get his licks in before you leave.
Fine. Book 3.
I mean, to be fair, when the seasons initially came out on DVD, they were in book form, so...
Well, it kind of has to be when you...
Stick that at the top of your beanstalk.
I've literally never heard anybody use that.
I just made it up.
Why is it that physical releases of stuff like this used to be so much cooler?
Because people cared.
Nobody buys physical media anymore.
That's false.
Yeah, there's been a resurgence lately of people
Really?
talking about physical media. It's because all the negative streaming stuff and taking stuff off. That's what's going to happen.
I feel like vinyls had like a record year last year.
They absolutely did.
They outsold, what was it? They outsold CDs for the first time in like 20 or 30 years. It's because it's a sound thing.
Yes.
And it's a collectible thing. That's why.
Sounds better. But anyway, we're talking about Avatar. We're talking about the southern air... No, the southern...
Water?
Raiders.
I knew
Or,
there was...
or the Vegas guy, the Raiders!
Yes, we're watching this episode today. I am very excited to watch it.
I don't remember much about this episode, other than it's Katara's adventure.
Yeah, everybody gets an adventure with Zuko.
Yep, it's Katara's
Not
adventure.
Toph.
But not Tom.
And it's they find the guy that killed her mother, and I know she does a little blood bending, and that's all I remember. On something with rain. That's like all I remember from the episode.
And one more time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm excited to watch a lot of... So let's get into this. Let's take...
How dare you!
I can't believe I almost said that myself.
I'm an infidel. Take a bite.
This is Greg.
And ladies and gentlemen, we just watched the Southern Temples of the Raiders.
I am shook.
Lost Ark of the Covenant.
yeah, the Lost Ark of the Covenant. I cannot get this title right. Is the
Southern Raiders?
Is there a temple in there at all?
No, because the Western
They
Air
leave the temple.
That's what it is.
They were in the Western Air Temple, or whether at the start of the episode. Yes. I forgot about that whole opening.
Dude, Azula came in hot and heavy. Like, she was... That was poor phrasing. But she like came to town on them. Like
it wasn't that poor till he said something.
Sorry.
It really, the thing's kind of ballooned out of control.
You know what? Actually,
sorry.
I'm glad you bring that up. We have two homies firebending on top of balloons.
On top of hot air balloons. So, by the logic of the show itself, wouldn't that heat the air so they stopped rising?
That's a good point. I'm also
Although
saying,
it's encased by metal, which begs the other question: how do they heat the air inside the metal enough to get the metal itself
With
to
fire,
float?
stupid.
But that's all. But I was also expecting the fire to break it.
Good point. How do they get the metal to not bend?
Are you a physicist? Are you a Fire Nation inventor, engineer person?
I mean, I am crippled like the Tinkerer's son.
Like his
Here,
son.
I can't. He plays that card. I just have to sit here and take it.
You opened the door. I just hobble right through
I
it.
was waiting for him to say it.
Well played. Well played.
But I forgot about that completely. Like, in my memory, it's... Katara's mad at Zuko because she doesn't trust him still. Mm-hmm. They go on their field trip. She bloodbends the guy. She almost kills the other guy with the ice things in the rain.
With the dome of death water.
Yep.
Death water. I love that.
And then they go back, and I do remember she doesn't forgive him. And, yeah, that was... I forgot
And
about
then
the opening
how,
like 5
How do you plan... Or what is it? What do you plan to do when you face my father?
That was such a good cliffhanger.
So, I've seen the show several times. We all have at this point. Does anybody remember what they felt the first time they saw that? Because I can imagine what I felt because I would have never considered that he would not actually fight him.
Yeah, that's why I thought that was a perfect cliffhanger. It's like, it legitimately, it's a good question. Like, all right, bud, you're going to try to do that? What are you going to, like, that's literally, like, it's
also because, thought. Like, he's fought everybody else. Like, he is willingly, granted, airbending is more about evasion and misdirection, but he's fought everybody else up to this point.
That's true. Yeah.
He's never actually had to kill someone, and he does have
Well,
to well.
there's that great compilation on YouTube, probably a bunch, where it's like, where Aang Tucks is like, I'd never kill someone, and then it shows all the clips of times people have probably died, like all the firebenders he drowned at the North Pole, all the tanks he's knocked off cliffs, and sorry, book 1.
Is it kind of like Batman, where Batman never kills anyone?
Yeah, and it's showing all these clips, and it's like, like,
sure, buddy,
sure,
whatever you want to say.
But then you could say, well, it was the not the moon spirit, what's the other fish?
The
ocean.
The ocean spirit. They say, well, it was the ocean spirit kind of took over and wiped away. Everyone's like, that's true. Still,
he is the great
bridge. That is an accessory too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a good cliffhanger, and then it's not solved in the next episode, which we don't have to talk about here. But just like
it's kind of ignored in the next episode, isn't it?
A bit. Yeah, but this one gave us one of the all-time great Sokka moments. Well, hello. And he swallows that rose.
That was
What's better, the look on Sokka's face or the look on Zuko's
I think
face when he looks
it's one
at
of those
him?
like it's both. It's just that he walks in, and then him swallowing that rose is already like you can they have the Foley artist just having like ruffling like plants or paper or something. Just someone gulp it. It's like, oh, I felt that. When you were a kid, you ever like real little, and you like stick like a leaf or something in your mouth, and it's like, no, get that out. And it's like this dry, nasty thing. Like that's what I felt in that moment. And Sokka explaining, like, Katara doesn't hate anybody. Well, maybe some people in the Fire Nation, but people were bad, like not bad people who came good, like you. And he just keeps going and digging his hole.
That was so funny. Sokka, he had some really good funny lines in this. I really he was I really was.
Can I borrow Momo for a month? What do you need Momo for?
I also do love the fact that you really get to see that Katara is somebody you do not mess with.
Yeah, whose breath got taken away by her stopping all the rain.
Yeah,
all of
like that was like.
It's still one of the biggest moments in the whole show. Every time I've seen
it's
the
always
scene,
her too. It's never like another.
It's got to be because we don't see her that enraged ever. We've seen her mad, but not like that. So when she does that, it's just this.
Like, oh.
And then there's like no warning for when she blood bends.
I was not ready for the blood bending, and I'm thinking, do not mess with Katara. She's probably the strongest bender in the show.
I mean, she can blood bend.
Yeah.
I mean, we can debate that later when we've watched more of it. And
that's true. I guess if you're bringing it to.
And just the gravity of the situation, because it's like before she's in tears that she had to bloodbend to save them, and now here she just does it like nothing. And I love it cuts to Zuko's eyes because he's got his mouth covered up, and it's just his eyes look widen at first, like whoa, because he's probably never seen that or heard of that. But then like in an instant, it being Zuko, he like snaps back, like focuses back, and the eyes go back down, and he turns like he's like just going with it, like. You get everything you need in just the eyes.
Well, he realized that he made the right decision in switching teams in that moment. Let me tell you what.
That's exactly what it was. His eyes were saying, like, wow,
like, hey, can you come in? I have a sister I'd like you to meet. Could you kind of do that?
Oh, they've met many times.
Oh, I know.
And they're going to meet again in a couple of episodes.
Yeah, she doesn't bloodbender though.
She should have.
I was just thinking.
It would have been easier.
She easily could have.
That's the other thing. It was supposed to be a full moon, but we don't know.
I think Katara is powerful enough.
But that's what I was gonna
say.
Well, no, it's not like a continuity. That's how strong she just bloodbended someone like without us knowing if it was a full moon, just on a whim. Didn't have to try. Oh my gosh.
You do not want to.
Are we sure Katara's not the Avatar?
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe Iroh is stronger, but I feel like
I doubt it. I don't think he would have the rage that she does.
It's earthbending Momo.
It's
The lemur is moving that boulder.
yeah.
Yeah, what was I going to say? I had something. Oh, man. We get the full story of what happened to their mother.
Then the flashbacks that they did were really well. I feel like you don't get to see that young age Katara.
Yeah, and
Sokka that often.
They've talked about the whole show. It's their mother died. It was because of the Fire Nation. Now we get to see it, and it's like you get both sides of like Sokka saying I ran to the front and then heard about it, and then Katara saying Katara gets out of there, and then you get the third perspective of what is the line like? I'm not taking prisoners today.
I really did think from the first time, like from the first person that she bloodbended, and it wasn't the actual right guy. When he says I don't remember, and she's like, oh, it's just the wrong dude. I half expected, like, just after so long he wouldn't remember at all her mom and her. Like, it's kind of impressive that he really did remember her. I mean, I would imagine as a Fire Nation officer, there's a lot of people that you kill.
Yeah. Ooh.
So it's kind of surprising.
That's one thing. It's like we have a time limit. Yeah. So we kind of have to have him just notice on a second try, whatever.
I get it.
But you have more breathing room, then you do stretch that out a little bit. But it's because of the first 5-10 minutes with Azula that we don't have that time. But also, there's not enough story to fill the whole thing. Yeah, makes sense. But great episode. Always one that I remember for this. It's like, okay, Katara's field trip Azula. It's like if Aang's is the pretty one and Sokka's is the fun one, Katara's is like the serious one. Yeah, the intense one. And then Toph doesn't get one.
Toph got one when she burned her feet.
Yeah. That's the stuff. When she stuck her feet into the water, I was like, why did I remember that line? You gave me a look. You're like, what was that? I just remember that line.
We didn't get a lot. We haven't gotten a lot of Toph in the last couple episodes. It really is everyone else's turn.
I was going to say, because every episode it's mostly Zuko and someone on a little trip.
Yeah. I guess because Toph was the first person to say maybe we should actually give him a chance.
Yeah. Well,
to be fair, she is the one that has the least,
connection.
Yeah, she's the one that can be, the most, he's just a bad guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He hasn't chased her quite to the extent that...
That was a funny joke in this episode. Yeah. Or I could just chase you guys around like last time's, right?
They actually laughed. I was like, Zuko is funny. It's better than his leaf joke that I don't remember how it goes, or the punchline really, but it kind of goes like, I don't remember what he says, but I laugh because it's dumb.
Classic Zuko zinger over here.
Zuko zinger. We're almost at the end of your time here, and you're finally come up with funny stuff to say. It took you 3 years to actually say stuff consistently. Man,
I'd be fair. We've not been doing this 3 years, have we?
Yeah.
Is this the third year, and will be the third year in May?
This is the fourth year once we hit the... It was 3 years ago we started up the podcast, but if you when you're talking about once we hit June 1st or something of this year, that's into the fourth year.
But anything else about this episode?
Nope, just that much closer to the end. The big cliffhanger, fun episode next week, and then the week after the big ending.
We're getting so close. I'm so excited. And if you want to stay with us, if you want to watch that epic finale that's coming so soon, stay tuned and stay up to date through the socials, which are...
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, The Funny TikTok, and X.
Formerly known as Twitter.
And you can... What is it? Cast our pod, I once heard someone say.
Cast our pod?
Yeah.
You can if
No. It's where the pods are cast.
Where the pods are cast. But listen to us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and hey, if it's YouTube, subscribe, comment, ring our bell, and make sure you rate us and like us on all those other apps, and check out our groovy website.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Like I said, next week we have episode 17. And
Yes. What is it?
It's the Ember Islands.
What's the name of the episode?
Ember Island Players.
The Ember Island Players. Yep.
Nailed it. So yes, tune back in next week for that. And whenever you want to.
Take a bite.